You just landed a new client. Exciting, right? But now you are staring at 5 hours of repetitive onboarding work. Welcome emails, contract sending, invoice creation, scheduling kickoff calls, gathering information, setting up project folders. Again and again and again. Welcome to KB Bluetree, where we show you how successful service providers scale without drowning in administrative work. Today, you will learn why manual onboarding is killing your capacity to grow and the exact system that automates 90% of your client onboarding process. In the next 10 minutes, you will discover the hidden cost of manual onboarding, why most automation attempts fail, and the step-by-step framework that saves 5 hours per client while improving your client experience. This is not theory. This is the exact system used by 6- and 7-figure service providers. If you have ever turned down clients because you did not have time for onboarding or felt exhausted before projects even start, you are about to solve that problem permanently. Picture this. You close a new client on Friday afternoon. You're excited about the revenue and the project. Then reality hits. You need to send the contract, create the invoice, write a personalized welcome email, schedule the kickoff call, send the questionnaire, set up their project in your management system, add them to your communication channels. Each task takes 15 to 30 minutes. By the time you finish everything, 5 hours have disappeared. 5 hours you could have spent delivering client work, selling to new prospects, or actually having a weekend. Instead, you spent it on repetitive administrative tasks you have done 100 times before. But it gets worse, because you are doing everything manually. Mistakes happen. You forget to send the questionnaire. You schedule the call for the wrong time zone. You miss a step in your process. Now you look unprofessional, and you have to spend more time fixing errors. So what do? You tell yourself this is just part of running a business? You wake up early to handle onboarding before your real work starts? You work late to catch up on what you missed during onboarding hours? Your capacity stays limited because 30% of your time disappears into administrative work. This is the reality for most service providers. You're talented at your craft, but trapped by the operational overhead of running the business. You cannot scale, because every new client adds 5 hours of manual work to your plate. The problem is not that onboarding is important. It absolutely is. First impressions matter. Smooth onboarding experience sets the tone for the entire client relationship. The problem is that you are treating every single onboarding like a custom, handcrafted experience when 90% of the steps are identical every time. You have been sold the myth that personal service means manual service. That automation makes you seem cold or robotic. That clients want to see you personally handling every tiny detail. None of this is true. Clients want speed, clarity, and professionalism. They want to get started quickly without confusion or delays. When you manually onboard clients, you are actually creating a worse experience. Delays happen because you are busy. Errors happen because you are doing repetitive work while distracted. Inconsistency happens because you are reinventing the process each time. You are working harder to deliver a worse result. Meanwhile, your competitors who have automated onboarding are taking on twice as many clients with less stress. They are delivering faster, more consistent experiences while working fewer hours. The gap between you and them grows every week. Solutions. Here's what actually works. Automated client onboarding is not about removing the personal touch. It is about removing the repetitive tasks so you can focus energy on what actually requires your personal attention. The system has 3 core components. First, build your onboarding workflow map. This means documenting every single step that happens between when someone says yes and when the actual project work begins. Most service providers have never done this. They just do onboarding from memory, which is why steps get missed. Sit down and write out your complete process: contract signing, payment processing, welcome communication, information gathering, account setup, access provisioning, kickoff scheduling, expectation setting. Every step. For each step, note what information is needed, what gets sent to the client, and what happens in your systems. Once you have your workflow mapped, categorize each step. Some steps are completely automatable, like sending welcome emails or creating project folders. Some steps are partially automatable, like contract signing that requires their signature but not your manual sending. Some steps require human judgment, like reviewing their questionnaire responses. Your goal is to automate everything in the first two categories. That is typically 80 to 90% of your onboarding process. The remaining 10 to 20% is where you add personal value. Second, select and connect your automation tools. You do not need expensive enterprise software. You need 3 core tools working together: a form builder for information gathering, a contract and payment processor, a project management system. No. Most service providers already have these tools, but are not connecting them. The magic happens in the connections. When someone signs your contract, that should automatically trigger your welcome email, create their invoice, send your onboarding questionnaires, generate their project folder, and add them to your scheduling link for the kickoff call. One action triggers everything else. Use automation platforms that connect to your existing tools. These platforms let you build workflows without coding. This happens in this tool, do that in that tool. Set it up once and it runs forever. Third, create your templated communications with personalization points. This is where most people get automation wrong. They either send completely generic messages that feel robotic, or they abandon automation because they want every message to feel personal. The solution is strategic personalization. Your templates should include personalized fields like client name, project type, start date, and specific deliverables. The structure and information stay consistent, but the details are customized automatically based on the data in your system. Write your email templates, your contract templates, your questionnaire templates, and your project brief templates. Make them excellent. Put in the time to create communications that are clear, warm, and professional. Then use your automation platform to populate the personalized details for each client. Your automated onboarding sequence should feel like a well-oiled machine for you and a white glove experience for clients. They receive clear communications at the right time, know exactly what to do next. They get started quickly without confusion. You do almost nothing manually. Success story? Let me tell you about Mary. When I met Mary 18 months ago, she was running a successful virtual assistant agency, but she was completely maxed out. She had 8 clients and wanted to grow to 15, but her onboarding process was consuming 40 hours per month. Every new client meant 5 hours of manual work, writing personalized emails, customizing contracts, manually creating folders, scheduling calls back and forth over email, explaining her process repeatedly. By the time she finished onboarding, she was already behind on client deliverables. She knew automation was the answer but felt overwhelmed. She had tried before and quit halfway through because the technical setup felt too complicated. She worried that automation would make her service feel impersonal. Then she committed to building her onboarding system properly. She spent one weekend mapping her entire workflow. Every email she sent, every step in her process, she documented everything. Then she spent another weekend setting up her automation using tools she already had plus one connecting platform. The transformation was immediate. Her next client onboarding took her 30 minutes instead of 5 hours. She reviewed their questionnaire responses, recorded a personalized video welcome, and showed up to the kickoff call. Everything else happened automatically. Contract sent and signed, payment processed, welcome sequence delivered, project folder created, calendar link shared. Within 3 months, Mary grew from 8 clients to 14. Her onboarding time per client dropped from 5 hours to 30 minutes. That is saving her 63 hours per month. She was working fewer total hours while serving more clients and generating more revenue. But here's the best part. Her client satisfaction scores went up. Clients loved how smooth and professional her onboarding felt. They got started faster. They had fewer questions because the automated sequence answered everything proactively. They felt taken care of from day one. Today, Mary runs a 20-client agency working 35 hours per week. She continues to refine her automation. Her onboarding system handles everything except the human judgment tasks. She focuses her energy on strategy, relationships, and high-value work. Her business scales without her burning out. Call to action: here's what I want you to do right now. Open a document and write down every single step in your current client onboarding process. From the moment they say yes until the moment project work begins. Every email, every form, every task, get it all documented. Once you have your list, mark each step with a 4 fully automatable, P for partially automatable, or H for human judgment required. If more than 50% of your steps are not marked A or P, you have just discovered why you cannot scale. Your immediate action is to automate your 3 most time-consuming steps this week, not next month. This week. Pick the steps that happen every single time and take the longest. Build the automation. Even automating 3 steps will save you hours. If this video showed you how much time you are wasting on manual onboarding, like this video and subscribe to KB Bluetree for more insightful content that helps you build scalable, profitable service businesses without working yourself to death. Remember this, your time is your most valuable asset. Every hour spent on repetitive tasks is an hour not spent growing your business or living your life. Automation is not about being lazy. It is about being strategic with the one resource you cannot get more of. Your automated onboarding system is waiting to be built. Start today.